So in this video, I'm gonna explain another economic concept, which is called a budget line. Before I explain this concept, let me remind you with what I said in the previous videos about the definition of economics. Do you remember the definition of economics? So economics is defined as what? It is social science that individuals, institutions, and society make optimal choices under conditions of scarcity, right? So how can I make optimal choices under limited resources? Okay, so this is the broad definition of economics. But the question is, how can we make optimal choices as an individual or as a business owner? How can I make optimal choices? So one of the tools which can help me to achieve this goal, which is make optimal choices within given that I have limited resources, what we call in economics a budget line. So let's see what we mean by a budget line. These are different definitions of budget line, and as you know, so I'm gonna use an example first and then get back to this definition. So let's see the next page. Let's an example, and from this example, I'm gonna explain what I mean by a budget line. Okay, so let's see this question. This question says what? Suppose that you won a $15 on a lottery ticket at a local 7-Eleven, and you decided to spend all the winnings on candy bars and bags of peanuts. So you can choose either candy bars or bags of peanuts. You can choose any combination of both, but within the budget of $15. The price of candy bar is 75 cents, and the price of one bag of peanuts is $1.50. Okay, so question number one, construct a table showing the alternative combinations of the two products. So I did this for you. So as you can see, so I just created like different choices, but don't forget that what is the maximum budget or the limited budget is $15. So for instance, so let's say option A. So if you go option A, so you will buy 0 candy bars and you will spend $15 on peanuts. So the price of one peanut equal 150. So if you multiply 10 by 150, so this means you have to pay $15, which is your budget. Okay, so it's feasible or it's doable. What about choice B? Choice B, you can buy 4 candy bars, and each candy bar is 75 cents, and 8 bags of peanuts. So 8 times 175. If you multiply 8 times 175 plus 4 times 0.75, you will get $15. So again, option B is doable. And the same for the other choices. So for instance, let's do option F, the last one. If if you don't like peanuts and you want to save your money on candy bars, so you can buy up to 20 candy bars. So if you multiply 20, so this is 20 candy bars by 75 cents, you will find that it equals $15. Okay, with no bags of peanuts. So you have different options or different choices: A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so now part B, question number B, plot the data in your table as a budget line in a graph. Okay, as I said, I'm going to use this example to explain what I mean by a budget line. So now you will see what do I mean by a budget line. Budget line, remember like when I explained what I mean by opportunity cost, I said you have two options and you have to choose between one of them. So simply in this graph, I'm going to put here like this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Since in this particular example, you are choosing between two different products, so I'm going to put candy bars on the x-axis, and I'm going to put the peanut on the y-axis. It doesn't matter if you flip it, if you put the candy bar on the y-axis or the peanut on the x-axis, it doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, so I put the candy bar on the x-axis, I put the peanuts on the y-axis. Now, how can I plot point A? So as I said, so candy bar is going to be my x-axis and the peanuts is going to be my y-axis. Okay, so point A is going to be translated to 0, 10, right? So this is 0 and go up to 10 for the y-axis. So this is point A. Okay, if you didn't get this, let's focus on the other extreme, which is the last point we have on the table, which is point F. So 20 and 0. So this is translated into what? So point F is translated into 20, which is my x-axis, and 0. Okay, so this is 20, x-axis. So this last point is point F. As you remember from maybe from the middle school or high school, that you need only 2 points to draw a straight line. But I'm going to explain another point just to make it clear for you. So let's say, for instance, let's see point C. So point C is 8 candy bars and 6 peanuts. So 8 is my x-axis and 6 is my y-axis. So point C will be 8 and 6. So let's say, so 8 candy, but let's say this is 8 and let's say this is 6. Okay, so this is point C. Okay, let me remove everything. So, okay, so now you understand how did I draw this budget line. Okay, so this is what we call the budget line. Okay, so this line is the graphical representation of this table, and this is what we call a budget line. What is the key point of the budget line? The key point is what? This is the most important thing in this video, which is what? So on the budget line, any point line like A, B, C, D, E, F, all these points are listed on the top on the budget line. So any point on the budget line is an efficient point and feasible. Okay. So let me say this one more time. So any point on the budget line is what? Is feasible, which means you can do it. You can choose any combination of these 6 combinations. So that's what I mean by feasible. At the same time, it's effective. What do I mean by effective? Because if you choose any of these choices, you will use all of your $50. Okay, so what about if I choose a point here? Any point below the budget line? Is it feasible? Yes, it's feasible. But it's not effective, because if you choose any point below the budget line, so most likely you will spend like maybe 7, 8, 10 bucks. You will not spend the entire $15. So this means it's visible because you have enough money, but it's not effective. Any point above the budget line, so let's say if you choose any point like this, is it visible? No, because if you want to be located at this point, you need more money than whatever you have. So you have only $15, but you need more money to be on this at this point. So it's not feasible. So let me repeat the 3 cases again. So please make sure to write down this in your notes. So we have any point on the budget line, any point here. So any point here on the budget line is feasible and efficient. Any point below the budget line is feasible, you can do it, but it's not efficient. The last case we have is what? Any point above the budget line, like here, any point here, it's not feasible. So you have to differentiate between these different cases. So now let's go back to the definitions of budget line. I think the definition is going to be easy now. So let's see this. So the budget line illustrates the number of important ideas. Any points on or inside the budget line represents points that are unattainable. Okay, points outside lines are, I'm sorry, it's my bad. So there's a typo here. So any points on or inside represent points that are attainable. So please take this. Okay, so any points on or inside the budget line is attainable, while any budget outside or above the budget line, as I said, are unattainable. Okay, next. So trade-offs and opportunity cost. What do you mean by opportunity cost here? Let me get back to the question again. Let me remind you with the opportunity cost, the definition of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is defined as what? So this is how much you have to sacrifice in order to obtain or buy something else, right? So how can we apply the concept of opportunity cost in this question? So for example, if you move from A to B, with your choice number A, you have no candy bar and 10 peanuts and 10 bags of peanuts. If you go to, I may ask this question for instance, what is the opportunity cost of moving from point A to point B? The opportunity cost is, so in order to obtain 4 additional candy bars, you have to sacrifice how many bags of peanuts? You have to sacrifice 2 bags of peanuts. So the opportunity cost will be 2 bags of peanuts. Okay, if you didn't get, let me read the question by a different way. If you are currently at point B, okay, let's say you are currently at point D, and you want to move to point E. So I may ask a question like this: what is your opportunity cost of moving from D to E? What happens if you move from D to E? You will gain 4 additional candy bars, right? 4 additional candy bars. But in order to get 4 additional candy bars, you have to lose, or you have to sacrifice how many bags of peanuts? You have to sacrifice 2, because instead of 4, you will end up with 2. You have to sacrifice 2 bags of peanuts. So the ratio is 4 to 2, or you can say the ratio is 2 to 1. So in order to get 2 additional candy bars, you have to sacrifice 1 bag of peanuts. Okay, so let's go back here. So that's what I mean here by this point. So trade-off and opportunity cost. The negative slope, remember from in the math, like any line like this is called downward sloping. So this is negative slope. But if any line is drawn like this, so the slope is positive. Okay, so the budget line is typically negatively sloped. Why is typically negative slope? To represent or reflect the idea of opportunity cost. You can get as much as you can of peanuts and candy. You have to sacrifice, you have to choose. Okay, so this is the idea of opportunity cost. So the negative slope of the budget line represents the consumers must make trade-off in whenever they make decisions. Okay, limited income and positive prices force people to choose. Okay, this is the concept of scarcity or opportunity cost. Okay, income changes will shift the budget line. Let's see, what do I mean by this example? So let's see number D. Okay, so suppose that you had won $30 on your ticket, not 15. So now your budget is doubled. So what does mean? This means you have more choices. How can I draw this on the XY axis? So this is your old budget line. So this means any point on this budget, on this line is visible if your budget is $15. But now, if you have $30, so your budget line will shift upward, right? Makes sense. So this makes all of these area below the red line is attainable. Okay, so let's go back to here. So this means income changes will shift the budget line. So the more income you have, so this means, so the higher the budget line you will have. Okay, so this is the main idea of budget line. And so this concludes my video, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.